Hey, Fuddy. So let's look at your logo. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pull it over here, just because this white background makes it a little harder for me to see certain things. And I'm going to duplicate it and put it here. And I'm going to, so it's all in the same layer so that I can mess with it. So the first thing that I want you to do is I want you to select your shapes here, and I want you to get rid of this here. So we can easily do that with the shape builder tool. With everything on the same layer. So right now I think that the problem you're going to run into is, yeah, your shapes are on different layers. So if you pull them all on the same layer, you can fix that, and you probably will have to go in with this tool, with your direct select tool, and grab these pieces and just line them up with this outside edge like that. And you might have to get really kind of close in to make sure that they're right where they need to be. It's kind of fiddly work. That is not right now wanting to be very kind to me. Okay. Oh, I hate using these because I never get an increment I want. So yeah, just kind of line them up as best you can. Um, yeah, so there you go. Just so that that white isn't sticking out. And the reason for that is that on like a white piece of paper, you're not going to see it. And on something dark, it's going to look strange because it looks like it should be cut um, the other way. The other option is if you want to keep that edge. Oop, I'm using the wrong tool. I haven't graded too much today, I swear. The other option is copy, paste. Let's bring another one in here. Okay, cool. Is that you can use your selection tool. You can grab that edge. So just highlight that one, and I think that's everything that's out there. And if you want to keep it, just pull it in. You might have to adjust a little, but you can do that as well. And then you keep that rounded edge. So either one of those is fine. Let's see here. I have a feeling that yours is mostly just going to be finessing little bits. Um, okay, so of these two, I would remove this bit here because it's causing a bump that you don't need. I would actually remove this one as well, and then take these handles and just pull them this way a little. Because it gets rid of some of those irregularities that are there. Let's see here. And I know this is kind of nitpicky stuff, but I want to make sure that your logo looks as good as it can. Do we need both of these? Okay, you need that one. So of these two, would I? No, I'll leave that one. Ignore me on that one. Okay. Um, the other thing is make sure that that your crown is behind your logo. So if they're all on the same layer, so once you have this designed, you can put it all on the same layer. So you have these all on different layers, which is fine. What I would do is, so you have all these layers, I would then, okay, there's nothing on this layer. I would make this your final logo layer, and then I'm going to pull both of these onto that layer. So let me cut them and then paste them here. That way everything's on the same layer, and you can do things like send this to the back. And you still have your original design over here where it's on multiple layers, and you can select what you need to if you need to make major changes. And then you can just duplicate it and move it over. But this will allow you to do some of this final work without having to worry. But yeah, I would push this to the back solely because it's going to look better behind it than on top of it. On top, you notice these edges and it's kind of distracting. It also makes it look like the circle's wearing the crown. I'm wondering if we pull it up a little, if that would help too. So all I'm doing is selecting those edges and then just kind of pulling them down so they look better, or so that they just extend, not that they look better. I actually think it might look better if you pulled the crown up a little bit because it gives a little bit of breathing space, and it gives some space between this gradient and this one, so that it doesn't, you're not noticing the difference between those two gradients as much. So I think that that's a really good option. Um, I'm gonna delete this one and duplicate this one here. Uh, hmm. With this, I don't think I would do a curved edge. What I think I would do is I would put a point here, and I would select that point, and I'd make it a sharp point, and have this come in like that, so that it almost looks like it goes behind. And I would work, can we actually just get rid of that point? Yep, and I'd get rid of that point. I'd grab this one, and I'd click on this, maybe. Why do you only have one point? Boop, boop, there we go. So if you click on this one and then this one, it'll give you both points back. Because we want this to be really smooth, so we don't want it to feel like it's like done weird things. So I do feel like you need that one though. I kind of want to be like, you don't need it, but you do. Okay, yeah, so I would just give him back his little handles. And it's just going to be like adjusting this to work the best way possible. But I do think having it do that instead of curve in might be a little better. Hmm. Okay, can I get rid of this one and fix the curve? Oh no. That's not gonna fix my curve. There's like a bump, a weird bump here that is making it hard to sort this out. So what if I pull this out a little? Will that help? There we go. So you're gonna have to adjust that to give that perfect curve around. And you're probably gonna have to adjust some up here anyways because it looks like you've got a piece here that also only has one handle. So we're gonna, there we go. That's going to give us a little bit better control over this. So you don't have like weird dips and indents. Nope. Yep, so you'll have to like kind of mess about with that to make sure that that's where it needs to be. What am I doing? Is this grouped? Haha. I'm wondering if we can make this a little larger so it's a little easier to read. Because you have plenty of space down here. And I think being a little larger is going to help it. Right now it feels like very much like an afterthought, and it's really hard to read if you're not up close. And think about how small your logo is going to be. So that's important that you can read it. And it might even be worth shrinking this a little so that your little line is very prominently out there. Maybe not though. Okay. Yours is just like a lot of like playing around and seeing what works best. I do think this needs to be just a little bit bigger. So about like that, so it's a little easier to read than this. Because on a smaller logo, it's going to be hard. Depending, you may even want to think about doing this, is to move that out. And for a logo, I don't think we can actually make these any bigger, can we? Probably not easily. Okay, never mind what I had to say. Um, on a, ooh, stop it! I don't even know how I got on that. So if it was going to be like really small, there maybe even be like a logo that you make, so like a secondary logo. So for now, this is fine. In the future, if you were going to use this, you would do a primary logo, which would be this one, and then you could do a secondary logo where you would probably get rid of this crown, and you might make this round bit just a wee bit smaller so that the N and the W could take up most of the space in the middle, and then you would get rid of this. You don't need to worry about that for this class, but just because I know you were talking about making this into an like a thing, like doing this for real. Um, that's something to think about because this the smaller this gets, the less readable this part's going to be. But I would say make it a little bigger because it looks a little more balanced and this doesn't look forgotten. So we're going to delete this one. Honestly, that's about all I have for you. I think you've done a really, really great job on this. It's just tiny things. It's literally just going in and finessing some of your edges and fixing them and making sure things look round and adjusting this crown. Like otherwise, I think you've got this. Um, so yeah, I don't really have any other changes for you besides those. And you can pop them back on there. And there you go. Overall, this looks really great. I think you did a great job. Let me know if you have any questions or comments or anything you need help with. I'm happy to help where I can. And overall, great job.